Welcome to Game Day Review.
Start over.
You ready? Welcome to Game Day Review. Got man Craig Jenkins, Morgan Smith. Craig, man, what's been good?
Not a lot. Just enjoying some sports.
Love it, man. We're in second round of playoffs for girls. Boys, first round will start Tuesday. DCAB's going to be playing Mount Vernon in Prairie Land Tuesday at 6:30. Timon and AJ are going to take it down there. They're going to be the 2 seed playing, I believe, the 3 seed Mount Vernon in their district. I don't even know where Prairie Land is. Do you?
I've heard of it, but I'm not sure.
We got our off-camera guy. Brandon, where's Prairie Land at?
I don't know.
Suck, man. All right. Next, Atlanta's going to be playing Paris Cheatham in Pittsburgh Tuesday, 6 p.m. Who you taking in that one?
Got to go with Atlanta.
Atlanta has not lost. I think the only teams they've lost to are 5A teams.
Yeah.
Nobody's even came close. DCAB lost to them by 1 point late, but other than that, man, it's been just all domination for Damian Collins, Hunter Allen, and crew.
Didn't Allen have like an ankle injury? Maybe
Allen hurt his ankle really, really bad. And speaking of him hurt his ankle, one of our sponsors, cryotherapy over at the retreat, worked cryotherapy on that, and he was able to play his senior night. And I'm telling you, when I first saw it, I didn't think there's any way this kid's playing basketball.
So he's doing a lot better.
Yeah, he's back 100%.
Definitely one of the key players on that Atlanta team.
Yeah, I mean, he's a senior. I'm going to call him the leader of that team, definitely the emotional leader. Damian is just I'm calling him the 5-star phenom. He's going to get his no matter what. But with the shooters they have, the way they're running that offense, the way defense is played, man, they're going to make a deep run.
Caleb Hamilton, Cam Dickerson, both.
Alex Boston is one of the best shooters in the area, and J.J. Fields, a previous top 5 number 1 play winner.
Yeah.
We know he doesn't mind slamming it in somebody's face.
Definitely going to see some dunks in that game.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a show. Texas High boys are playing Tuesday versus Marshall. This is actually a doubleheader. I'm sitting here looking at this and thinking, we might want to see if we want to take this because we can get 2 games. They're playing in Hugh Springs. Texas High is playing at 7:30. Hooks is playing Winsboro at 6.
I just got stalled right there for a second. What I was going to say about Texas High is I've been watching some of the highlights on C.J. Kelly, and it seems like he's coming into his own as the season has progressed. He's becoming more of an all-around player. I mean,
CJ's
finishing at the basket as well as on the outside.
Matter of fact, while we're talking about C.J., let's throw up his dunk right here from last week. Hooks, Benji Johnson, Winsboro. I don't know anything about Winsboro. I do know Hooks has a pretty good basketball team. They're in a very tough district with DCAB and Atlanta. I'm looking to see an upset here over Winsboro.
Hooks over Winsboro.
Yeah,
That's what I'd say, too, because, like you said, Benji Johnson, highlight reel. I
mean, any other district, they're going to be a 2 seed. Just in this particular district, with Atlanta and DCAB. They're a good team. But let's switch it over. PG's going to play Tyler Chapel Hill Tuesday, 7 o'clock in Marshall.
Don't know much about Tyler Chapel Hill, but I do know a lot about Pleasant Grove girls basketball team.
This is the boys.
Oh, that's boys.
Yeah.
Drew me off with that right there. For some reason, I thought you went to girls.
No.
The boys team, are they going to find their identity? Are they going to shoot from the outside? Are they going to let Henry control the point a lot more? Or are they just going to bang it down low? I really want to see those guys get it to the big guys down low and then kind of open up the outside shot for Carmody and Henry.
That entire offense is ran around Tavondrick. And it's really just if he's feeling it or not. I mean, he can literally, in my opinion, go to the rack anytime he wants. He could finish with a double-double every single game, going to the rack, scoring and dishing. I mean, he's obviously the best basketball player on that team, and everything's going to offensively have to go through him.
I think the game he played the other night was probably his most complete, well-rounded game. He did it from every aspect on the court.
Liberty Allo, in Liberty Allo's defense, we'll cover. Let's switch over to Liberty Allo since we're talking about them. They're going to play Kilgore in Hallsville 7 p.m. Tuesday. The defense I saw from Liberty Allo was unbelievable. I don't remember. I've seen them play 4 times this year, and I watched them on the broadcast you did when I was sick. I don't remember their defense being that good.
They've got, like you say, pretty much every position they have somebody that can play that position.
Yeah.
Whether it's Hunter, Atkins, Hampton had a good night shooting the other night. I think he was sick when I saw him before the game, and he had a mask on. I think he was trying to play possum and then came out there and had a good night shooting the basketball.
Every time he was open, I was like, somebody guard this man.
Yeah, he had a great night.
Great times. Good luck to all the local teams in the area. Arkansas High, it'll be a couple of weeks before we get in a playoff thing for them. Their season goes a little bit longer. Girls, the PG girls won the area championship last night.
That right there, it doesn't surprise me one bit. I'll say it like that. I've seen a number of games for the Pleasant Grove girls. I mean, every position, whether it's Livingston, Henry, Lloyd, Ware, they can all flat out play basketball. Yeah. So it's not one player you can stop or two players you can stop. If somebody's having a bad game, somebody else is definitely stepping up.
They're extremely well coached.
Yeah.
And they're exciting to play. Exciting to watch, excuse me. But they won 58-47 over Van last night. We won't know where they play Tuesday until tonight. The team that will be playing obviously hasn't played yet.
Yeah.
But let me tell you about a team that did win first round, excitingly, is the LE girls.
Another good team.
Oh, yeah, another great team. They were in – let me just tell you, I know we covered this on our first one. They were up late in this game. They were playing Chapel Hill, Mount Pleasant Chapel Hill maybe, if I'm not mistaken. They were up. The team came back and tied it. They go into overtime. 3 starters are sitting. They're down 5 points, and they win by 5 points. You talking about overcoming adversity, believing in the person beside you? That's exactly what happened in that game.
One of the players
that starts at the highest level at the coach.
One of the players that impressed me most, it was the Pleasant Grove Liberty Islo girls game, and Henry was running the point for Pleasant Grove, and Crabtree from Liberty Islo was playing defense on her. It was back and forth all night. Liberty Islo played a really good game. They lost late, but as far as defense, Liberty Islo girls has a great defense.
Yeah, I mean, they're just full of athletes over there.
Yeah.
And, being there the other night, it's that's one of the nicest gyms in the area. You watched the broadcast a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, I came early.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Man, what do you think about the new camera angles?
That's
all everybody's
game
talking
changer.
about. Yeah.
It's like you're literally watching one of the other shows.
Brandon, what do you think about it?
It was great. It was great being in the huddles during timeouts and stuff. It's
just a different perspective.
Yeah, should we? Do you think since it took the very last basketball game of the season, should we dock the producers' pay a little bit for doing that?
No, we'll cut him a little slack, or maybe we can cut his pay and then make him get a side job.
Yeah, that's probably what we should do. We'll talk about that a little bit more here in a minute.
Yeah,
because there's some people in this room that believe you should take less money and work for somebody else to make it back up on the side. Yeah. We'll figure it out, though. Let's talk a little. Let's go to baseball schedule. It's too early in the season for me to know a lot about it. The PG boys, the black and gold game is today at 5 p.m. Monday, PG is going to play at home against Atlanta, 5 p.m. Liberty Islo scrimmaging Redwater today at 6:30. On the 24th, which I believe is Monday, LE versus Queen City at LE, 6:30 p.m. Texas High takes on Atlanta at 5 o'clock today. And Monday, they'll face North Lamar at 6 p.m. That's what's going on in your local sports. Let's talk national.
We're going to switch gears a little bit. One thing I want to mention again is not necessarily the Dak Prescott contract. It's what Emmitt Smith came out and said, and I'll read what he pretty much said. He said, "How much money are you willing to leave on the table? The Cowboys are a marketable organization. Instead of taking 35, would you take 28 to leave some to sign Amari Cooper?" My question is, do you feel it's okay for like another player to comment on money that's due to somebody else?
Emmitt Smith's a hater. I'm just going to call it like it is. Emmitt Smith is a Hall of Famer. He's one of my favorite running backs ever, but him talking about Dak's contract like that is just borderline inappropriate because Emmitt took all the money he could get in the 92, 93 season. I mean, he even held out. So why he's even talking about it, I don't even know. But if you ask me to take less money working for you, but you tell me, hey, yeah, man, but you can go out here and get these side gigs to make up that $7 million or whatever it is, I'm going to go into free agency. Some quarterbacks have done it. When talking about the Tom Brady thing, Dak has already made a comment that he's not married to Giselle. Okay, so in my opinion, you get as much money as you can get. And I don't know why people are so torn on this, like he's doing something wrong. At what job have you worked at where you didn't want to make as much money as possible?
Every job.
Why is it different? Because we're talking about millions of dollars?
No, it's because it's the Cowboys, and a lot of fans say, well, we haven't won a Super Bowl with Dak. But if you look at Dak's numbers over the past 3 or 4 years, he's been on the incline each year, whether it's passing yards, touchdowns. He's done a relatively good job. I feel like the Cowboys put themselves in this situation by not signing Dak.
They should have signed him
after
preseason.
the second year, maybe the third year. But you still wanted to see more, and now you're in a situation where you're forced to have to maybe – I wouldn't give him the 40, but the way the NFL is set up, he slots in the Jared Goff, Carson Wentz area. It's only right. I don't feel like Emmitt Smith should have opened his mouth on that. I feel like he should have just said, hey, he's been doing his part. Maybe they can come to some kind of agreement. He didn't have to say yes or no on that. And I feel like that's where Emmitt Smith overstepped.
Let's ring into Brandon Lohr, see what he thinks on the topic.
All right, so if he leaves the extra money on the table, he can leave Amari. Amari will have enough money to get there. But if he – because he really – look at last year. Amari came in, and that's when Dak really took off. So if Dak takes this money and they don't have the money left to spend for Amari, and Amari walks, what is Dak after that? Oh, he got paid, but what's he going to do after that?
Here's my thing.
He's going to show up to work every day and get paid.
Okay, so he says
I mean, they're not going to win a Super Bowl anyway.
So it's either about Super Bowl or it's not.
I'm a season ticket holder. I love the Cowboys. They're not winning the Super Bowl.
But here's my thing. He said Dak should take a little less money to sign Amari. Okay, why doesn't Dak take a lot less money and go out and sign Amari Cooper, bring in Dez Bryant again? You know, you're saving all this money. Why not just give up all your contract, play for league minimum, and bring in another 10 guys?
Why doesn't Amari take less money to get to play with Dak?
Well, he's probably going to take less money because he's a receiver and he's not the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
But I can guarantee he's going to expect to be paid as one of the top receivers in the league.
I'm with y'all. He should have already been paid. There's no question about that. I'm just saying he's got to take less money so other people can. So
it's pretty rare for us to be talking about a Dallas Cowboy player that's not getting paid. Yeah. Jerry Jones pays people.
Yeah.
It's almost an insult, honestly. And I mean, I'm not a huge Dak Prescott fan. I mean, I think he's a dump pass specialist that looks good. That looks good on paper. Look at Drew Brees, Tom Brady. Dump pass specialist. You could even argue Peyton Manning was. The numbers look great on paper. Tony Romo definitely was. But for some reason or other, that offense scheme, all that is just not a winning formula in Dallas. And we're going to see another Tony Romo area with Dak Prescott, in my opinion. I like Dak. He's a likable person, and I do think he deserves this money. But I don't agree with the argument he should take less money to sign a guy that he already can't win with.
My biggest thing in this whole situation is you better get him signed before Pat Mahomes signs. He may not get the Pat Mahomes money, but it's only going to force Dallas to pay more money. And then on the flip side of that,
you do not want to franchise tag a quarterback. That, I mean, if that guy gets disgruntled, it's going to be rough.
I think it's insulting to his teammates for him to not be able to get paid. If they don't pay Dak or they try to franchise Dak, it's just going to make other players say, hey, you know, maybe we should search free agency. Teddy
Bridgewater of the Saints, when he hits free agency, if he gets the 30 to 32 million, like the experts are claiming, a backup quarterback who will start wherever he goes, but $32 million, I mean, why would Dak take 28? I mean, I wouldn't take that if I were Dak. And I mean, I know we're talking millions of dollars, but at the grand scheme of things, there's a formula that goes in. And these are the top 5 guys or the top 10 guys. Where do you fit in there? And your contract should fit into what they're being paid. Yeah. And I don't know why anybody would say, "Oh, take less. You need to take less money for the betterment of the team."
Let's move over to the NFL.
I need you to admit I'm right.
I agree with you on that.
Okay, Brandon, admit I'm right.
I agree with most of that. Yes. But here's one thing we're not thinking about though.
You know, Brandon can't admit nobody's
right. They're fixing to raise
either.
the cap after this year. So let's say he takes the tag, the franchise tag. Okay, in that sense, he's going to get more money because they're going to raise the cap. There's going to be more TV money. They're about to sign new TV contracts. Okay, so in your sense, it should be better for him to take the franchise tag and wait till next year. Plus, Patrick Mahomes will get his deal, so he'll get more money then. So if you want him to get more money,
here's the thing about
that.
That's the worst way to look at it. If Dak takes the franchise tag, he comes out, plays, suffers an injury like
thank you.
What's the kid from Alex Smith? Broke his leg, got infection, almost died. Just now being able to come back. Who's to say he's even going to be able to play through that contract? That's the risk of
Yeah,
being
same
put on
thing
the
with Des
franchise
Bryant.
tag.
Brandon, Des Bryant hated being franchise tagged because you get injured, it's done. You have a
Yeah.
season, there's nothing guaranteed.
It's
that's
a
risk.
business.
No question, that's a risk.
It's a business.
I'm not agreeing. I'm just saying, if he wants more money, it might even be worth holding out more.
It's a business. You got to always bet on yourself.
We have our resident non-expert Brandon Lawrence arguing with us.
But when it comes to the NFL CBA, this one expires in 2021, so they're
Okay.
kind of scrambling to get it done before that. They've got one that the owners have agreed to. You know, it adds that 17th game. It drops one of the preseason games. It cuts down on the testing time for marijuana.
It adds a playoff game as well.
Yeah, adds a playoff team.
You're right.
It adds an extra playoff
Yeah.
team, and it cuts down on the marijuana testing from like 4 months down
They
to
should
like
be
2
doing
months.
that anyway.
Well, they cut it down to
Yeah.
2 months, so they know when they're going to get tested. So anybody that fails in those first couple of weeks of the season, they're just an idiot. And it also
This is true.
it guarantees the 5th year
Shouldn't
for
be
like
testing for it at all, though.
players entering when they come out in the draft. You know how some players sign 4-year deals.
Yeah.
Now they have a 5th year that's guaranteed. I think that's good for the league as well, and then maybe some added roster spots and stuff like that.
Let me tell you the downside of this. That fourth preseason game, starters don't play in. Okay, so they are they're not taking a game away and it's all the same. No, they are adding another game.
Yeah.
All right. Let me tell you how this is beneficial to the owners outside of just right now money. That 17th game that they're going to make money off of, that extra playoff team that the league's going to make money off of, all this revenue. Hear me on this. All right. Every time the NFL has added a game, you can Google it, Brandon. All right. Every time they've added a game, one game, the average career length has gone down in players' careers. They don't play football near as long. 7 years is when you get your pension in the NFL. This is going to save the owners millions and millions and millions of dollars because players are not going to. That one game takes a big percentage off a player's career. Somehow the statistics show it. Every time they've added it, players' careers have gone down. The length of players' careers have gone down. So if I'm a player, I want it. As a fan, I want it. But there are a lot of angles we have to look at on this. The owners are being sneaky as well as the NFL. And now that this information has been released, they don't look so, we're doing everybody a favor, which you ain't going to trick me anyway. I know the starters don't play in that fourth preseason game.
Yeah.
So they literally are adding that. So, and what is the revenue share going to go up to? Another 1.5% to the players or something for that one game?
Yeah, I think it was like 1, maybe 2%. It wasn't very much.
Now, the revenue share off that extra week, I mean, they're probably putting, I bet you the minimum goes up $150,000 off that one game to a minimum player, a minimum athlete. I don't know that number to be fact, but it's going to be somewhere in the ballpark of that. But to like a Dak Prescott, his revenue share is going to be higher.
Yeah.
And then playoff games, the revenue share goes up. You know, we all think like, all these players are millionaires. Like, that's not the case.
Definitely
like
not
the
the
NFL
case.
is not. I mean, there are millionaires, but there's like the top 10% make 90% of the money.
Yeah.
Okay, so the NFL's doing no players favors here. I'm sorry.
It's set up to be a business.
We say that, but why is the NBA so transparent? This is an athlete-driven league, the NBA. They can change the all-star format because the fans want it. Why can't the NFL be that easy to deal with?
Because the NFL has different owners.
That's another thing.
Different owner.
I can name a ton of NFL owners. I can only name 2 NBA owners.
Yeah.
That's a problem. This is a owner formatted league, which there's nothing wrong with that. But they got to listen to the fans and the players, and they're just not. They're calling the player. You know, what was it? 2 years ago, said we can't have the players running the prison or something. The Houston Texans. It's something along those lines. I mean, that's a ridiculous statement to make.
I saw that J.J. Watt came out and he was a hard no for this collective bargain agreement.
I don't doubt.
Emmanuel Sanders, he was with the Denver Broncos. Mm-hmm. And when it was close to them getting ready to go into their bye week, he was traded to San Francisco. So he didn't get a bye week. So he basically played the 17 games and playoff games. And he was just talking about how hard it is on your body just picking up those extra games and that they were against it. They need 2/3 of the players to vote for this. I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, definitely not. Especially right now, if you look at how old the average age is in the NFL. It's kind of the oldest it's been in a long time. They're not going to get 2/3 votes.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
All right, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's talk about the NBA. You got a lot of injured players. You got Damian Lillard out 3 to 5 weeks. Kyrie Irving, season-ending shoulder injury. Marvin Bagley out 3 weeks with a foot injury. Clinton Capella out 3 weeks for the Hawks. Do you think a lot of these injuries are going to impact the positions going into the playoffs for these teams? I think that's going to be a huge impact on it. You'll see some of those teams that can get up from that 9th, 10th spot maybe up into the 8th playoff spot.
Injuries always make a difference. You just named some really big name players. Of course it's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
I don't have the strength of schedule in front of me, so I'm not going to say what I think is correct. But Lillard being hurt, I just don't know how they're –
and I think they're maybe the 8th, 9th spot, pretty close right there as to not making that playoff.
Who's the team in LA right now? Like who's the king of LA?
I'm going with the Lakers.
I say the same thing, but if you look any other show or online, everybody's like Clippers. Why?
It's because the Clippers are constantly making moves to try to guarantee that they will be that team to beat the Lakers. In the 7-game series, the Clippers are good. I'm not going to take that from them, but I
don't like this. I'm frustrated with the NBA right now over one thing, and this is this Kawhi Leonard resting stuff.
I can't stand it.
I'm somebody who will, if I'm going to take my kid to a Maverick game
to see a player.
I can't afford to sit courtside, but I can afford to sit in the top 10 rows.
Yeah.
If they're not playing the Lakers or something. And I've had this happen to me before with Kobe Bryant. When he went, I drove all the way to San Antonio. I wanted to see Kobe. I wanted to say I saw Kobe Bryant play in person. And keep in mind, this is 05, 06 ish. So we don't have the technology we have now to let me know. I didn't know he wasn't going to play. He just didn't play. I was pretty upset about it.
Yeah.
Because I drove all the way down there to watch him play. I got to see Tim Duncan and all that. That's great. But I drove down there to see Kobe play. I feel bad for these fans who some of these fans, it's got to be like their vacation. I'm going to take my kid to see one of the greatest players ever play basketball, and he doesn't.
Here's my thing. I can understand, maybe taking a day off here and there, but consistently during the season taking games off, I think it's just the way that the league has become. Like we just said, that the NBA is a player basically run league. So
I don't
who's going to come down on Kawhi Leonard and say, well, you need to play every game? Kawhi Leonard say, okay,
I think
I'll go over here to this other team that'll be more accepting of me.
If you're injured, you're
taking
injured.
The time off.
But I think, at least play a quarter and a half.
Yeah.
You got people who pay to see you play. Honestly, if I'm going to go to a Mavericks game, if Luka Porzingis isn't playing, I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
But if I buy tickets 6 months in advance and then find out the week of, it's just going to be a letdown. Like my 6-year-old son may not care because he doesn't know the difference, but I want to provide my kid with that experience, and I can't.
You go to see the stars.
And it's just, it's frustrating. Like you turn on your TV, you want to see Paul George and him play, and it's like, oh, you can wait till the playoffs. Like, I don't have any money vested in it, but if I did, in tickets or anything, I'd be upset about it.
Before we get away from the NBA, I want to talk about something that I heard today. Last night, Joel Embiid, he scored 36 points, 16 rebounds, and he's now officially calling himself the best player in the world. I don't know what world he's living in, but what do you think about those comments?
I think he misspoke. I think he meant he was among the best players is what he was thinking in his mind, but it came out wrong.
Well, I only have what he said.
Right.
Joel Embiid said he's the best player in the world.
Yeah.
A guy that did a lot of crying.
He's not the best player on that team. What is he talking about?
Maybe he feels like he's in a league where there's no Giannis or no LeBron or.
Ben Simmons is a better player than he is. Speaking of Ben Simmons, what's going on with this rift? They're talking about one of them has to go. They're in enough stables for 2 horses.
I hadn't heard it.
It's been like a thing going around that they just don't. Like the media has pitted them against each other, and they don't want to play together anymore.
I think they just want to get rid of Ben Simmons.
I like Ben's game.
I don't think he's been the player that they expected or wanted him to be.
Because he won't shoot the 3 ball. If you're bad at something, I like that he knows he's not good at it.
But that's something he has to work on. That's
it doesn't, though. It doesn't. You don't have to be a 3-point shooter anymore.
It's good to have that in your arsenal.
You need to have it, but
if it's something you're not good at, and you're a professional, you get out there and work on it. He has to stay after practice
Listen,
and get better at the three-point
Anyway, back
shot.
to Joel Embiid. Dude's a center in a dying league of centers. He's a center. He might be the best center in the world right now. I don't know.
I wouldn't agree
But
with
he's
that.
a new age center. He can shoot threes. He's a better 3-point shooter than Ben Simmons. So, I mean,
I don't know. We'll
he's a modern center.
So settle this. If you're a professional, do you feel like you should get in there and work on your three-point shot?
Yes, I totally agree. But if you're a point guard and that's just not been your game forever, you're not going to, is the thing.
But that's something you have to add to your game. It's when once you make it to the NBA, you can only live so long off of what you did in college.
Right.
Every player that goes on to be great develops different aspects of their game that they didn't have before.
Yeah, Giannis is shooting threes now.
Yeah,
And
it's something
he's
you
a
have
little
to do.
better, but
Well, let's talk about one more thing. It's probably the biggest sporting event this weekend. Fury versus Wilder. The first fight, a split draw. I had some notes on it. One card was 111 to 115 for Wilder, 114, 110 for Fury, and then the third card was 113, 113, which was a draw. And on that card, Fury won 7 out of the 12 rounds. Wilder won 5, but 2 of those rounds that he won were 10-8 rounds. That's telling me that without those knockdowns or whatever, Fury wins that fight.
I don't even know what to tell these guys, man. Aaron, I've been trying to tell them. Nobody listen to me. Listen. Finally listen to me. All right?
Depends on how good it is.
Your boy knows boxing. Brandon, tell him I know boxing.
I agree.
All right.
I'll listen to him when
Certified.
it comes to
We got certified. I know my boxing.
Who is this guy that's over here?
Just-
Brandon?
Brandon. You know, he makes up stats as he goes. Anyway, Deontay Wilder, it's rare for him to step in a boxing ring and be the best boxer. It's rare.
Oh, guaranteed.
He's not a boxer. He's the most dangerous man walking the planet with boxing gloves on. Anthony Joshua, I don't care what they want to, on the other side of the pond, they want to swing it anyway. Anthony Joshua does not want Deontay Wilder.
Been running for
All right.
years.
Deontay Wilder's never been knocked down. He's been hurt, but he's never been knocked down, so he's obviously never been knocked out. Is Tyson Fury a better boxer? Yes. Can Tyson Fury win this fight? Absolutely. Tyson Fury can win this fight. But let me tell you why he's not. Deontay Wilder lets the hands go. And you saw late in that fight, the first time they fought, you can't survive one of those punches. Fury's tough. He's going to get up. But he gets knocked down 2 or 3 times in this fight. And you can't win getting
In
knocked
this
down.
upcoming fight?
Yeah, he can't win.
So you think he's going to knock him down 2 or 3 times?
I think Fury is going to be hard to knock out. Because Fury's tough. I mean, I have a lot of respect for Tyson
I
Fury.
don't think he gets I don't think he gets a knockout or knockdown. He may get a knockdown, but I'm actually thinking Fury's going to win this fight. And let me tell you why. I'm a firm believer that you have to beat the champion. You know, whether you knock him out, I don't think you can barely outpoint him. It has to be a good amount of separation in the points. But I think Tyson Fury is just going in there to outpoint Deontay Wilder, and he can easily do that. But he's got to watch that right hand, and I don't think it came in the 12th round, the last fight. I don't think he gets it this fight. And it just sets up a trilogy.
I think you're wrong.
Boxing is too rigged. I'm saying it's going to be
I think
classic rigged
I'm almost
game.
positive what I'm about to say is correct.
You're saying it, so you should.
Well, Deontay
That doesn't mean we have
in
to
all of
agree with
Deontay
it.
Wilder's fights, he's only had 3 that didn't result in a knockout or at least a knockdown.
That's true.
Okay, so Fury has been knocked down by a lot of people. He's gonna. I mean, it's a crazy statement to say he's not getting knocked down in this fight. If Deontay Wilder went in there, and he's gonna land some big shots.
So how many knockdowns did he have the last fight?
He had 2.
Okay, and I just told you
One of them came late in the
2
12th round.
judges nearly scored this for Fury. So this was
You can't win
pretty
a fight.
close to being a loss.
You can't win a fight. Honestly, you can win on scorecards, but we both know you get knocked down a couple times.
Man, it's Las Vegas. Las Vegas has a way of screwing boxers.
That's your show for today. Craig Jenkins, Morgan Smith on Game Day Review. Tell him, Craig.
We are out of here.